Welcome, everyone, to the 5th episode of the All Stuff No Fluff podcast, a show where we talk with friends about the games and stuff we like on a monthly basis. So, we're all gamers, we dabble in the art of playing the video games like all the cool kids do. And I'm sure we all have a ton of thoughts on this past month's E3. We're going to get to that, but for now, let me use this opportunity to welcome and thank our lovely panel of folks that have joined us today. And just for a quick refresher today, we have Alex. Hello. Good to have you, sir. How's California treating you?
It's good. It's really chill, and it feels weird to not, be in New Jersey for once.
I've heard so many things about New Jersey, so the fact you said it like that just made me laugh.
It feels weird that I'm back home after 2 years.
Right.
So.
Well, cool.
It's nice.
Yeah, California is a great place to visit. We've also got David. Hello, Mr. David.
Hey guys, what is going on? Thanks for having me on again, Alec. It is great to be here.
You're welcome. And just for the record, have you actually gotten around to eating those Cinnabons yet?
I have not, but I need to go to a mall. I haven't been in the mall in a while.
That's
it's
such
so weird that
a weird
Cinnabons are
concept.
only in malls. Yeah.
Yeah, remember malls? Wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, David. And then we've also got Kira. Hello, Kira. Second time. Hello.
Hi, yay! Fun.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Been busy studying. I have a Japanese language proficiency test coming up. Literally in less than a week. So, haven't played a lot of video games recently, but after it's done, it's going to be nothing but video games for me all summer. So I'm pretty stoked.
I've heard, because I've been keeping up with your videos and you posting on Twitter and stuff. I forget the acronym. It's the JLPT, right?
Yeah, Japanese language proficiency test. Yeah.
Oh, man. It sounds really stressful, so good luck to you with that.
Thank you.
That sounds hard. I want to take it too, though, because I'm also trying to practice Japanese.
You should. Yeah. You should. You can take it in the U.S., in most states, so.
Man, well, good luck with that, and thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you.
We've also got Amanda here as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Alec.
Hi. How was the beach?
It was great. I went surfing for the first time.
Ooh, how'd that go?
Yeah. It actually went really well. My knees are very much scraped up right now, but it was totally worth it.
How do you,
I did an actual surfing lesson, so I kind of figured, so I wasn't completely going in blind. And I managed to get up on the board, kind of crouched down or on my knees or whatever, either one. Which is, to me, pretty impressive considering it was the first time ever surfing and most people don't do that in an hour and a half. So I was like, all right.
Nice.
Yay. So I definitely want to do it again because that was neat.
Were the waves that big?
No, they weren't all that big. So they were perfect for learning how.
I guess they don't need to be. In my mind, I just think 10 feet, that's the good height for surfing. I don't know anything about surfing, as you could tell. All right.
These are little waves.
Man, that sounds scary. Well, thank you for being here, Amanda. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We've also got, to round us off here, Mr. Yo Schiller. Hello!
Hello, humans. I am Yo Schiller. I am functioning on about 4 hours of sleep for the past 3 days. But you know what? I'll be okay, I promise, because I'm here to talk about video games, and that is what I like to do.
Yeah, I get perked up, too, whenever I start talking about video games. And just for clarification, is Bayleaf watching over us this time?
Bayleaf is on my shelf to the side, actually, coincidentally, angled slightly away. I could turn it toward me. It's fine.
All right, let's. I need the blessing, so.
All right, let me. Don't
reach over. I got it. All right. I got it.
You know what's funny about Bayleaf is I didn't know Bayleaf was an actual leaf. And I knew about the Pokemon first, and then I remember my grandma mentioning there's Bayleaf, and I was like, there's what?
Oh, so quick Japanese lesson for today.
I see what you mean.
Oh, yes.
Quick Japanese lesson. So Bayleaf in Japanese is Bayleaf, and Chikorita in Japanese is Chikorita. So see, Japanese is actually really easy. And I've been using Pokemon names to practice Japanese, so now I can say Chikorita and Bayleaf in Japanese, and it's great.
So what you're saying is that Kira can actually learn from you on how to speak Japanese.
I don't know. She's the one taking the test. If she aces
have
this
a
test,
Bailey
and I'm hoping
question.
she does, I gotta learn from her.
I'm sweating.
This is what I've been using.
No pressure, y'all.
All right. Well, huge shout outs to the podcast fam. Seriously, thank you guys so much for coming on today. All right. So, before we dive into the post E3 goodness and stuff like that, first, I want to talk just a bit more about you guys and what you've been playing and, all that other stuff that's going along with it. So, which games have you been playing? Let's hear it, David.
Yeah, so since E3 happened, we got the awesome announcement that Mario Rabbids is getting a sequel game, Sparks of Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that was wild to me. I didn't expect that game to get a sequel to the scale that it did. That cinematic trailer was amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I honestly want Nintendo to work with more companies and give them the Super Mario franchise and do whatever they want with it, because that game's awesome. So, literally right after that, they had a sale of Mario plus Rabbids, the Gold Edition, which is the game plus every single bit of DLC that came with it, for like $15. And I was like, I don't want to lose money on this. So I just bought the whole thing. I actually had I think I was borrowing my girlfriend's physical copy for a while, and I got to like World 3. I was stuck on the second world's boss for a long time. That game actually has a good amount of difficulty to it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
so I decided
underrated as far as that goes.
I haven't touched it in a little over a year and some change. So I started over, having a great time. So I expect to actually finish it this time over, and then also do the DK Adventure DLC. So that's one game I've been playing, and then I've also been playing a lot of Knockout City on the Nintendo Switch too. If you haven't played Knockout City, it is the dodgeball game by EA Originals, and that game is honestly one of the funnest multiplayer games of the year. It might actually be the best multiplayer game of the year. We'll see. But I think if you download it on your Switch, it's like up to level 25 or something. You can play it for free, and then after that, it's like a $20 base price game, and it is so fun. And it's cross-play and cross-save. I have it on my Switch and my PC. So I'm having a great time with that game, honestly. So if you want a great multiplayer title, Knockout City is 100% the way to go right now.
I gotta say, as time goes on and cross-play becomes more and more prevalent across the industry, I think something that I really appreciate when games do also is cross-progression. So it's really cool to see that game has it, and a lot of other games are starting to get it now too. So I could play wherever the heck I want. Gives me a little bit more freedom that way. Well, cool. Awesome. Alex, what have you been playing?
Funny that you bring up cross progression and cross saves, because I've been playing basically mostly Hades this entire trip.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Heard about that game before.
The Switch version has Steam support cross save. Let's go.
Is it just the Switch version?
Yeah, the PS5, PS4, and the Xbox versions apparently will not have cross save compatibility. So that still makes the Switch version the definitive version to play. Great.
Wow.
Awesome. But I have been legitimately playing mostly Hades throughout this entire, vacation. It passed the airplane test, which is, will I get bored of it if I play it for 6 straight hours on a plane? The answer is no.
Oh, that's the perfect game to play on a plane.
No,
yeah,
it's
that's
actually
awesome.
perfect. I have gotten, I think, 6 or 8 completions just here in California. Granted, I'm playing on God mode because I am not that good at the game, but that's fine because it doesn't really matter. And everyone in that game is way too hot for their own good, and I hate it.
Yes.
Love that. Well, love it.
Because I see Thanatos and I'm just like, hey, how you doing? And I'm not going to say anything else. You can read into it from there.
Okay.
All else I've played aside from, the 2 hours of Mario Golf that I've played, which we'll get into later, is Miitopia, because I got a review copy of that, a month ago. And I have been attempting to get through it. And, I have some problems with it. Mostly in the fact that the game has, hardly any actual gameplay. The Mii creation stuff is cool. I probably should have not have memed at first, but like there's great creation, like options for the Miis and all that stuff. The great customization. There is literally no actual gameplay that is like really interesting to me. It all just feels super basic, and like you can do an auto battle thing, so the game kind of plays itself in combat, and you can't move while they're traversing levels. So I'm like, this game is $50? Huh. All right.
Interesting.
Did you play it at all when it was on the 3DS too,
I
or no?
did not. So I came into it blind, and I wonder if that would have saved it a little bit. But like, it's a game that really feels like it came out of a Wii U era Nintendo when they were just kind of like figuring stuff out.
You know, I gotta say, like, on a surface level, because I've played the demo, which was maybe like 2-3 hours long, and that's the only experience I have with it. But it comes off to me as a very, I guess we're just gonna use the word basic again, very basic version of like a Final Fantasy or something, where it's in that direction, but not quite as in depth, which may not end up being a problem for me.
Close.
But I could see
it focuses a lot on like mechanics from like Tomodachi Life with like relationship meters and like getting that up to get like different moves and stuff like that. But I think the problem is this is not an audience. The Switch I don't think has that same kind of audience. And I didn't play much of the demo because like right after I started getting into it was when I got a review copy of it. It's like, it's fine. Because it's not a bad game, it's just, I feel like I wouldn't pay $50 for it.
for sure.
Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't have quite the comedy levels as like a Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi game, but also it doesn't have the depth of like a game that people that play RPGs like that would appreciate. Like, I've heard that it's like pretty much like literally baby's first RPG or turn-based RPG. So like someone like me who isn't super into turn-based games will probably be into it for a little bit, maybe.
You nail it on the first half. I don't know if I'd call it first RPG level things, but you've pretty much nailed my thoughts kind of like really well.
Nice.
But yeah, I only have my Switch with me, so I can't play like stuff like Dead by Daylight or other things because I just have my Switch.
Right.
Oh, but I did get Golf with Friends and play that on the Switch, and that's a game that I both love and hate at the same time.
Lots of golf for you too, huh?
Look, it's a golf weekend because I play Mario. I don't know what you want.
Well, it sounds like you're having a good time in California regardless. So, awesome. Hades and golf. What a mix. All right. So, Kira?
Yeah, recently, even though I've been pretty busy, I just beat Atelier Ryza on the Nintendo Switch, which is like a...
wow.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a niche RPG, I think, just because of the alchemy system or whatever, but that's a really great game. It's the best-selling game in the Atelier series, which is good, and I think part of that has to do with it coming out on Switch, and a lot of people, like, it's more accessible to people now.
Right.
So there is a second one that's also on Switch, so, you know, it's like $100 for, like, the special edition version, but so eventually I'll pick that up, but, yeah, the other weird thing is before E3 happened, I actually purchased Super Mario Party. And, yeah, I purchased it to play online with friends and stuff. So me and Alan, my husband Alan, we'd play through all the levels and unlock characters and stuff. And the unfortunate thing was, you know, playing online has not been the best experience, because it always, you know, it cuts out. You can't save the game. So, you know, we haven't been able to finish a game online. So
Gotcha.
it was kind of a bittersweet thing that the new Mario Party got announced at E3, because it's like, oh, I just bought Super Mario Party, but at the same time, hopefully, you know, you can actually save online now. So
Yeah, I thought that was so cool, actually.
yeah, it's like, oh, I spent $60 on this game just to like probably not play it after the new one comes out, but you know, it's fine. It's been fun getting back into Mario Party. I honestly can't say that I've enjoyed a Mario Party game since Mario Party 8. Back in the Wii days. So,
Before 9.
Yeah, 9, I enjoy 9, but I would never go back and pick it up. I think I could go back and if a friend was like, hey, you want to play Mario Party 8? Heck yeah, okay, I could do that, but I don't know if I would willingly go out of my way to play 9.
No way.
Does anyone actually like 9 legitimately? I feel like they peaked with 8. Well, no, they peaked with, like, Mario Party 2, let's be clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
the
say.
last really good one before the weird, like, everyone's on a car.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't like that at all.
It's because after Mario Party 8, all the console Mario Party games up to that point were developed by Hudson, who you guys might know for developing Bomberman. And
Yep.
then they were acquired by Konami, and they stopped making Mario Party games. And then it was a different Nintendo group that started making Mario Party. And I guess at that time, they felt the need to mix up the formula, so they made Mario Party 9 and Mario Party 10. And then they also made like Mario Party Star Rush and stuff like that. And it was a weird time to be a Mario Party fan. So I don't know what made them go, all right, you know what? We're going to make Super Mario Party. We're ditching the numbers and we're ditching the car. But I think most people did not really care for Mario Party 9. That all this to say, I think Mario Party 9 is where people were like, eh. And then when Mario Party 10 got announced, everyone was like, oh, this can't be the future of Mario Party. But we're okay now.
Yeah, most people I know skip 9.
Yeah,
At least the music's good.
the music is good. But hopefully with this
the music's consistent.
continuation, or hopefully with this new idea, and I know we'll get into it when we talk about E3, but I hope that the future is looking brighter for the Mario Party franchise. I think it's just been not so good since Mario Party 8. So that's just mostly what I've been playing. I'm kind of holding off on gaming until after the test, and then I'll be deep diving into the World Ends With You series because Neo comes out on the 27th of July. I never beat the first one, so yeah, I'm gonna buy the Switch version of the first one, play through it before Neo, and that's gonna be me for the next month.
That's another game that I totally forgot about.
I have the Switch version of The World Ends With You, and I have a friend who has been ride or die with The World Ends With You since the DS original release, and he has like 3 copies of that version specifically because he's like, if you want to play that game, literally ask me and I will let you get a copy of the DS version because every other version is trash. And I tried out the DS version for a little bit, and the combat system is very interesting because of the stylus and all that and the dual screen. And then I got it on the Switch to try it out, and it honestly is a drastic difference, but I haven't played it enough and I don't have enough of an emotional attachment to the original World Ends With You to be disconnected from it. So I'm probably just going to play through the Switch version before playing the sequel. But also me and RPGs, that's so much time. I'm pretty sure I don't know how long the game is, but I'm sure it's over at least 50 hours. But yeah.
It's Square, that's all
great series.
It's Square. They're always long games.
True.
Well, cool. Man, when you said that, Kira, I just totally remembered like how much other stuff is coming out in July and how it's just like another holiday season in 2021. It's
Christmas
wild
in July.
Christmas
I don't
in
wanna
July,
think about it.
indeed.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. We'll get to it when we talk
Yeah.
about E3, but oh god,
For sure.
it's bad.
Then we just have a couple more people here. Amanda, what have you been playing?
So recently I did get a PS5, so I've been playing the new Ratchet and Clank, and
Ooh, that
that's
looks
actually it's so much fun. I have not actually played a Ratchet and Clank game, despite the fact that one of my E3 traditions was always going to take a picture with Ratchet at the Sony booth because there was always like a actor dressed as Ratchet there, and I always had to take a picture with them. And so this was finally, I figured, you know what, maybe I should probably finally play the new game. So I got it, like, I got my PS5 the day before Ratchet and Clank 5 came out. I think it's 5.
Nice.
And very happy with it. It is really cool. Just watching, it's so beautiful. And it's a really fun game, and it's a good one to start with. I got Mario Golf. I have not played it because my Switch decided not to cooperate, and the dock so it's the dock that's not wanting to work. The Switch itself is fine in handheld mode. And
That's good.
yeah, and so my husband just tested it out a little bit ago, and he was finally able to get it to work on like a different monitor. But the one that I have in here, it just was not hooking up at all. So, but it took him like 5 tries to get it to finally work on like another television.
Interesting. I
Weird.
wonder why.
I don't know. It is the dock just not wanting to connect properly. I don't know why.
Well, cool. So.
But at least we've got it working, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, sounds like you've got some golf in your future, which
exactly
seems like some of us do, which is cool. And Yoshiller, why don't you go ahead and round us out? What have you been playing recently?
Yes, sir. So I feel like every time I wake up in the morning, there's another game I have to power through, which I guess is a good situation to be in. You know, I look to the left and I'm like, oh god, the Neo demo's out. And I look to the right and I'm like, oh god, the Monster Hunter Stories 2 demo's out. And then I look forward and I'm like, oh god, Pokemon Unite, oh god. And I played none of them. So what I did play was I
hate that reality. It's so true. Oh no.
It's fine. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of games that I started recording for my channel a few months back. So I'm now trying to wrap up Hyrule Warriors. And then the DLC came out. And then I still have to beat New Pokemon Snap. So I've been playing that here and there. And then I did get a couple of new games. I got to play Mario Golf for a little bit. I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 downloaded on my Switch. But I haven't really had much of a chance to play it. And I also... I don't know if I said this in the last podcast, but I also got to power through the Famicom Detective Club games, so that was fun.
Yes, you did mention that.
Oh, how was that? I've been wanting to check those out.
Yeah.
As a guy who doesn't regularly play visual novels, as a guy who like just played the game for the sake of playing the games, I enjoyed it. I do think the price point that they have on the games is a lot, but I got the games as a review copy, so I didn't have to pay for anything. So my perspective is skewed, but I enjoyed them. I thought it was cool. It treads the line between a visual novel where you just kind of go from one point to the next to the next to the next, and kind of a choose your own adventure. No matter what, things are going to play out the same, but one or two things slightly change based on like what order of operations you went in first. So I enjoyed it. I think it visually looks very good, and the music's actually really freaking good too. I didn't think I was going to like the music so much, but I did. And if you want to know my opinions about Famicom Detective Club and if it's good or not, I have a video on my YouTube channel. Anyway, so I enjoyed it. It was good.
Link in the description.
So that's done, and now I'm powering through everything else. So Hyrule Warriors, New Pokemon Snap.
Cool. Yeah. So very good, but also suffering a little bit from the life of somebody who backlogs games a lot, which I also attest to. I have a lot of stuff to get to, but I'll use that as a segue into what I've been playing. Personally, I've been playing a ton of Pokemon Unite's Japanese beta, and, of course, the new Mario Golf, which I've been loving. Pokemon Unite actually kind of surprised me a little bit, and for those that don't know, recently Japan held its first open beta, open to all players in the region to join, but if you have a Japanese eShop account and a patience for higher ping like myself, then you could just hop in and play as well. The beta was about 3 days long. In reality, I only plan to spend about a day or so playing it, just gathering my thoughts and then waiting for the full release in July. But that game was just consistently pulling me in for all 3 days consecutively, and it was crazy. I will say it was surprisingly more fun than I thought it was going to be. And for anyone that's a fan of Pokemon, MOBA games like League of Legends or Dota, or a fan of both, like myself, definitely give it a try in a few weeks' time. It's free to play and also supports cross-play and cross-progression with mobile, just kind of like what we were talking about before, which is huge for me because I get a lot of value out of anything that pulls me away from my desk, so I can just play in bed in any time that I can minimize hunched over and staring at a monitor. I can appreciate. Then, of course, we have Mario Golf, which I was fully expecting to love. The visuals are awesome. I actually posted a tweet the other day comparing the original Super Rush to Super Rush, just because it's so cool to see the difference that comes from 22 years of time between those two. Ew. The cast of characters, though, is very solid. The visuals, like I said, are great. And can we talk about this game's load times as well?
Oh my god, it's so fast.
My reaction to booting up the game for the first time, because I did a multiplayer video that actually includes Alec here. And I was just chatting. I was like, all right, I guess I'll go ahead and boot up the game in the meantime. What the heck? What happened?
I saw it from John Cartwright's tweet, and I'm like, what? What? And then I saw it in real life, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, it's like, it loads it loads that game faster than my PS5 could load anything. So,
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what sort of
Oh!
magic sorcery is going on behind the scenes to make that happen, but yes, Nintendo, more of that, please.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
That's gotta be a standard now, because now we know that it can be done. There's no more of an excuse for any other game to not do that.
It's impressive, actually.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
so
god,
cool.
no, it's massively impressive.
Like, I don't know if you're planning on picking it up, David. We'll get into it in a second, but definitely, oh my god, it's gonna blow your mind. Now, anyway, bringing that up, I guess since it's been talked about so frequently, it's actually listed in the notes as later in the podcast, but we'll just go ahead and do it now. So we could use this as sort of a jumping off point for anybody that hasn't spoken on it yet, but what are all of our thoughts on Mario Golf? Have you been playing over the weekend? And if you haven't, is this game exciting to you, or are you interested? Let's hear it from David.
So, in terms of Mario Golf, I guess we could start off on the negative side, or at least like,
Okay.
the least excited point of it. Like golf in general is my least favorite sport. It's not interesting at all. I played Toadstool Tour on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I guess, a standard for me, or at least like a point where I'm like, okay, this is interesting to a point,
Mm-hmm.
but it still didn't like. I never owned the game. I rented it back when you can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really like thirsty to play or to own Mario Golf Super Rush myself. If I have any friends that pick it up, I totally pick it up. I mean, I totally like join them on some local multiplayer, but personally, I'm not really like thirsty to grab it myself. I'm more of like a strikers, baseball, any other sport Mario game guy. But golf is not my favorite out of all of them. I was watching actually a video earlier today from the Completionist where he was talking about Toadstool Tour specifically, and I guess this goes to an argument that many people have brought up when it comes to the latest releases of Mario sports games, where it's like it seems like there's something missing from them, or like some type of Mario magic, Nintendo magic that was in the GameCube era or the Wii era that kind of disappeared when we got to like the Switch, where it's like it seems like it's just the sport plus Mario rather than Mario playing the sport in his world, you know?
Can I interject a little bit?
Where it's like, yeah, sure.
It's interesting you bring that up. I want to make it clear, I don't disagree. I totally understand where you're coming from. I also want to throw in there, though, that at least back on the Nintendo 64, when Mario Tennis and Mario Golf hit mainstream, I know tennis and golf technically were developed by Nintendo before then, but if we're talking specifically the Mario brand, Mario Tennis on the N64 at least is pretty standard. There's like a side mode where you can play on a Bowser court, and you can do like ring shot and whatever. But Mario Tennis, like, there's no special moves. There's no wacky, gimmicky courts. There's courts themed after different characters. Like, you can unlock a Yoshi court and a Wario court and a Princess Peach court. But they don't tilt back and forth and have black holes coming everywhere. All that got added with the GameCube version of the game, or potentially even the handheld versions of the games. Because I know you can get like Mario Tennis Open on the 3DS, and that has a couple of wacky courts. There's an outer space court, and I think there's a court where every time the ball lands on the other person's side, it changes the physics of the court. And then Mario Golf, I didn't own the N64 version growing up. I only played it on Wii Virtual Console, but I'm pretty certain that's pretty standard as well. That's still just golf that happens to have Mario characters. So it's very weird that we're like, I miss when Mario sports games had gimmicks, and when it's like, that's only more of a modern thing. So it's a little weird to say you already miss it when it wasn't always like that, you know? That's just my 2 cents.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
is a good point.
For like the GameCube era for me is like when those core memories were created, you know? So like Toadstool Tour, Power Tennis. Honestly, Power Tennis was like top tier, and Strikers were like amazing for me because they had all those levels themed after Mario locales. Everyone had their own super special moves and stuff like that. They had all these extra modes and things like that. I know like Super Rush has the mode where you can like where it's like free for all golf. That seems cool. I'm not even gonna lie. There's
Speed
like
golf
they
is
showed
so
an
fun.
E3 an E3 trailer. They have like New Donk City and some other maps they plan on adding later on down the line. But I don't know, just personal preference. Mario Golf, not my favorite, but I'm happy for y'all. Happy for y'all.
Us golf fans appreciate it. No, I think I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, out of all the sports games, I don't really think golf is the most marketable. I mean, personally, it's probably a little bit lower on the tier list for me as far as Mario sports games are concerned. I'm more of a tennis guy.
It's hard to market golf because it's such a slow sport.
It is.
Oh yeah.
You know, I commend Mario Golf for having all these more simultaneous modes where everyone like can beat each other up and push each other over as you rush over to your golf ball.
Like the joke with Tennis Aces was like, this is a fighting game.
Yeah.
Tennis Aces was so hype.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Crazy.
Golf is really fun to play, but if you're watching a non-commentated gameplay video, like I was editing Mario Golf footage and just looking over the raw files, it's kind of boring. So and there's only so many shots you can use for a trailer. It's like, okay, now Mario swings, and now Pauline swings, and now Rosalina swings, and like, all right, that's your footage. And thankfully, when you develop the game, you have access to like these developer cameras and whatever. But otherwise, it's a tough sell, which is probably why they've been prioritizing tennis over the past few years. But I am happy they're finally like, all right, let's give golf another try.
That probably could also be why they're putting such an emphasis on speed golf, just because it doesn't really seem like Mario Golf is a great solitary experience. I don't know how much enjoyment I could get out of it just playing solo. And based off of the, you mentioned it earlier, so I guess it's okay to talk about it, but based on the session that we had recently, speed golf is like the thing. Oh my god.
Speed golf's way more fun. Regular golf was fun, but it's only because we were playing with each other. Speed golf, that's the mode.
Yeah, it cannot be stated enough. In my opinion, speed golf is just so fun. It's so chaotic. But yeah, I've been loving the new Mario Golf though. And to David's point, I do miss some of the other like characteristics, sort of vibe that the other games had. I don't know, for lack of a better word. But I think it's still good. It's still a good experience, I think. It's just a matter of preference, because also to Yo Schiller's point, there's other stuff that fills that hole of like, Mario flair, Mario personality, and having all these characters that do these cool flashy things. It's just in the characters now instead of in the environments. So I guess it's just a matter of personal preference, and I totally get the nostalgic thing. So, has anybody else not spoken on Mario Golf or anything like that? Any opinions?
Well, I have actually not played a Mario Golf game since Mario Golf on the NES. So I've...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the last Mario Golf game I played, was Mario Golf on the NES, which I did enjoy. And so I'm still super disappointed that my Switch dock is not working, but I'm very glad that my husband just came in and told me he was able to get it to work on another television. So it means I can at least play it soon. So I'm so jealous hearing about like all the different like modes and stuff. And it sounds like a lot of fun. It looks like fun. I'm not all that super athletic like in real life, so I've never really been one that's big on like getting the sports games, because it's like, well, I get made fun of anytime I try and play sports, so I'm just gonna like be terrible at it in a video game too. But this looks, I don't know, this just looks fun, and I cannot wait to actually play it.
When you do, we definitely need to get some sessions in.
Totally.
Yeah, lots of Mario Golf going around for sure. And just to kind of clarify and make sure, Kira, you wanted to talk about Mario Party, not Mario Golf, right?
I don't know. Well,
I thought that's what you mentioned earlier, but
I don't really have anything to say about Mario Golf. I haven't played since the Nintendo 64 era, and I could kind of take or leave any of the Mario sports games. Not that because they're not saying because they're not good. It's just like not, sports games are not my thing, no matter who's in them. So that's
fair.
That's all I got to say about it.
Not even if Sonic was in them?
To be honest, I didn't even buy the Sega tennis game when it came out, even though it had Sonic, and I haven't bought Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games since the London version. So I guess
okay. I do love.
All right.
Granted, I feel like they kind of peaked with like London and Rio. I got the Tokyo 2021 for Mario and Sonic, and it's fine. Like, it's not overly exciting. It's like,
I like
I'll
learning
buy
about the different
Olympic ones.
locations in it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I buy the Olympic stuff. I actually will probably end up buying the official Tokyo Olympic Games stuff probably at some point soon. I don't know why. Like, the Olympic Games, I'm all for. Every other sports thing that's not like a Mario-related thing, I'm just kind of like, whatever.
I got the
EA is
Sochi
lazy.
one. I got the Sochi one because it came with a Wii remote.
Oh yeah.
The
Forgot
only
about that.
chance I feel like I would have to buy the Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games, Tokyo, is if it, like, years from now, it's like on a major, I don't know, bargain bin sale. Not that historically I think those games have been like bargain bin games, but yeah, I just don't ever see me spending, $50, $60 on most sports games. I usually wait until they're like, I don't know, maybe find it at a yard sale for like $20.
Yeah.
That'll
Well,
probably drop in price pretty legitimately, like, once the Tokyo 2020 games are over anyway.
Yeah.
I guess I have no choice but to go over to Japan and then let you play on my Switch. That'll get you to play Mario Golf, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Sweet. Well, I guess we've reached that part of the show where we have to talk about all the big gaming events of this past month. There was only really one, and it was E3. So there was a lot of stuff shown off, so I thought it would be interesting for us all to name off our favorite and most disappointing announcements of the show. But at both
can I go
sides, if you
first?
will. Yes. I will preface
right.
it by saying I personally watched every presentation like I always do, and I gotta be honest in saying that, for me, at least, no other presentation left as much of an impression as Nintendo's, so that's where my games are coming from, but if you guys have stuff from other conferences that's worth noting, feel free to sound off. So, anyway, let's hear it. Best and most disappointing, Yoshiller. Let's go.
All right, well, I would like to preface this by saying I will gladly accept the award of person who called every single thing in that presentation. I'm so happy that Mr. Driller got announced for Super Smash Brothers. I'm so glad we got that new F-Zero game.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Called it on all front. No, I don't think I predicted a single thing in that presentation except for technically Mario Party Superstars, but even then I was vague and said, I gotta think we're getting something other than Mario Golf. Mario Party? Maybe. Yeah. I think is how I phrased it last time. So
Roll the clip.
no, you don't have to roll the clip. It's fine because I don't want to make Alex sit through a 2-hour podcast to find a 10-second clip of me, but it's fine. So, so highs and lows. I mean, I think most people are gonna have the same highs of like the Smash Brothers reveal, the Mario Party reveal, the Metroid reveal, the WarioWare reveal, and the Breath of the Wild 2 reveal. I think like those are the
whole
heavy
show,
hitters.
basically.
But in my case, there were a few extra things that appealed to me, like Cruisin' World. I love it.
Yes!
Yeah, that
Oh my
was cool.
gosh!
That's
That was
right.
cool.
That's right.
Sorry, it just totally just peaked there. I got so excited.
No, you're fine.
I'm not a Shin Megami Tensei 5 kind of guy, but I acknowledge that that's a pretty big game, and if there was any game to take up a little bit of extra time in the presentation, it should probably be that. I otherwise don't have too much to say that hasn't, or that probably won't be said by the rest of you guys, but I just wanted to make it clear that I think most of our predictions were freaking wrong. I think maybe we all expected a Namco rep. I thought I was being smart with Mr. Driller, but nah, it's
No.
a Tekken man. It's
He's
Mr.
got him
Tekken
in the
himself.
bag, dude. He's gonna be
He's
the
got-
last one. He's keeping you. He's reeling you in.
We got Tekken Man. That's a Namco franchise, a pretty big one, I might say. So I'm out of the count. I everything I predicted was wrong. As a matter of fact, we did not get Pokemon at all in that presentation, which is fine because I guess if there was any
Yeah,
franchise where
surprisingly.
I feel safe knowing that they're gonna touch on it later, I guess it'd be Pokemon. But it was a little weird. We didn't get Pokemon. We didn't get Metroid Prime 4, which is fine. We didn't get Splatoon 3,
Got it.
which is a little odd, but I guess that's fine too. And we did get a bunch of other stuff in exchange. So, we didn't get the alleged Donkey Kong game that the Odyssey team is making. So that rumor.
I was very
Oh,
surprised
man.
about that. 'Cause that rumor was very loud.
Yeah, that rumor was loud, but now we don't know if it holds water. And if it does exist, then I guess we'll
Yeah.
see it later. But you know what? We got a lot of freaking stuff. I haven't had a chance to play any of it, so I'm okay if one or two of those games are not ready to be shown just yet. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I
no,
loved
same.
Donkey
it.
Kong,
I'm very satisfied.
I have
the
a.
Donkey Kong rumor is like Star Fox Racing levels of loud, honestly.
I have a pretty long-winded answer, so I'll do it first, and then everyone else can go after. But Schiller had to call me out like this. So, my personal favorite announcement of the show was actually Metroid Dread. I know, super original. But like so many others, I was totally taken by surprise seeing Metroid in any capacity at this year's show, much less Metroid freaking Dread, a game that has apparently been in development for 15-ish years now, which is likely a very interesting story on its own. But it's out in the world, it's announced, and it's coming pretty soon in, I think, October, if I remember correctly.
October like 8th
October's
or 10th.
stacked. October is disgusting.
Yeah, and it's
I hate
it's weird that it's so soon, because October sounds like it's so far away. Anyway, I'm so stoked for this game, though. And with the Metroid series thus far, my experience with it has been so great. I was one of those people that really enjoyed Metroid Hunters on the DS. I don't know what the general reception to that game is. I don't feel like it's as good as Prime. But, yeah, loved Metroid Hunters. That was my first experience with the Metroid series, actually. I also thought that Federation Force was pretty good. Not the best, and certainly close to not even being anywhere near, the Metroid Prime trilogy. And I also played a bit of Samus Returns because Nintendo had sent me a copy for review at the time, and I really enjoyed that as well. So, Metroid Dread, I'm really excited for. The visual style sort of maintaining that dark, gritty feel while also having these really cool, vibrant colors, especially on Samus's new suit design. I'm a big fan. I was even one of the lucky few that scored a pre-order for the special edition that morning because I'm such a huge sucker for art books. So, needless to say, I'm sold, and Metroid Dread looks great. And that's it. That's the sentence. On the other side of the spectrum, though, I think for me, the most disappointing announcement of the show wasn't actually even a game. It was definitely when Aonuma straight up told us that there are no more plans for anything Zelda 35 related for the rest of the
that was
Hey,
very
I
annoying
did call
to me.
that, didn't I? Sorry, guys. I did say there wasn't going to be a true Zelda 35th
My
anniversary.
God, man.
I hope
That
you
was
enjoy your
so
Game & Watch, though.
stupid, bro.
I
I blame every single person
Okay,
that
listen,
answered
listen.
"I no longer care for Mario" on that little survey.
I
Every
know.
single person that
Oh,
that's
no.
why.
I no
No.
longer care about Mario.
I don't
It
trust
totally.
Yeah, when
That announcement totally killed all of my hopes and dreams of a Zelda collection on Switch, or at the very least, Twilight Princess. I mean, with all of that said, I'm gonna just totally shill for Twilight Princess any opportunity I get, but it never, I can never understand why Nintendo would take this kind of stance as, from where I'm standing, not only would it be a hugely profitable scenario for those of us that already love Zelda, which I think there might be some of those in here, maybe?
What?
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's
Who knows?
okay.
Who knows?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I like the Game
I've
& Watch.
played a Zelda game once or twice.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know what you mean.
not
What's a
only
Zelda?
for existing fans, right? But also even for new buyers, as putting a Zelda collection on Switch, then being able to turn around and say, hey guys, check out this Nintendo Switch thing. You can play the most 3D Mario and Zelda games here, more than any other console in history, all in one place. Isn't that cool? I don't know.
All right, Kermit. Well, I have a question for you. Are you happy? I know you don't like the news, okay? But this is genuine curiosity. Are you happier that they came up front and said we're not doing a Zelda 35th anniversary blowout, or would you have been happier if they not said anything? The year goes by, and then you just
Yeah,
don't
we'll
hear
just
it?
hear
of course it's
about
better they
like the
said
Switch
we're
Pro.
not
We'll hear about
getting
it all year.
anything.
Because I actually like that they said that. That they're
I-
like, we're not doing a Zelda
here's the
35th thing.
I like that he said it, and I'm glad that it's funny because Nintendo, I feel like historically, just as far as social media rumble goes, it feels like they're just kind of off in their own world doing their own thing, and kind of like we're just over here making these loud outcries in the corner, and Nintendo's just going to keep doing Nintendo. Like, they don't care. It almost felt like that remark from him was sort of a response to people's excitement for Zelda 35, because in reality, like, I don't even think there really was.
It literally was.
Like, I don't even think there really was any sort of announcement about Zelda 35 or there being any sort of huge plans for the 35th anniversary. I'm
Yep,
just
there wasn't.
like it's even lucky that we got the Game & Watch, which in itself, you're either excited for it or you're not. But all that
be honest,
to
that
say,
Game & Watch is pretty stacked.
yeah, and all that to say, I feel like his remarks be like Nintendo hasn't said anything, and him saying that now kind of feels like a response to the people that are kind of started getting their hopes up and kind of started wondering and thinking to themselves like, well, what does this mean? Are we going to be getting like this cool Zelda collection and like licking their chops and stuff, myself included? But it still kind of felt like a big old slap in the face because you could credit it to me building up my own hype or setting my own expectations, or Nintendo's history with celebrating Mario last year. I don't know, but
like Nintendo has this rep of doing whatever they want to do, but also as the years have gone on and they realize what their fandom does and how they anticipate things that aren't even confirmed at all, they've gotten better at just being like, this isn't happening.
Yeah,
so
no, like
and I appreciate
yeah,
that.
With the Smash presentations and like with the E3 one where they said it's only going to be software. We're not going to say what it is you guys are talking about, but we're going to say it's mostly software. That's pretty much all you're going to say.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't acknowledge it, yeah.
Also, oh, sorry, if you want to go first.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Oh, I literally all I was gonna say was I appreciate the fact that they're like giving us a heads up, but at the same time, didn't like someone on the Zelda team talk about Skyward Sword HD like a long time ago at a concert, and Nintendo was like, yeah, that's not actually happening, and then here we are. I don't entirely trust it, but at least I know I don't have to freak out over random drop announcements right now. I don't necessarily trust it, but I'm at least happy that I don't have to worry about anything big later this year. I'll talk about my stuff in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Never mind. I said enough. Go ahead, Kira.
No, I just wanted to say that I think what's most surprising about this choice to not have a big celebration for Zelda 35 is that the Zelda fan base is bigger than it's ever been. I think after Breath of the Wild, like including myself, I was not a Zelda fan really until I played Breath of the Wild, and I know so many people who are now into it and who are going back to these older games, whether it's like even just Link's Awakening or something like that, or the remake of Link's Awakening. So you would think that with how massive the franchise, the number of fans has gotten, you would think that they would have taken this opportunity to do a big celebration.
I was thinking that also. It's just because we're getting so many new Zelda fans and we're getting new generations of Zelda fans that they are now growing up on Zelda because they didn't grow up on Zelda because they weren't born yet. And so this would be a good chance for them to be able to go back and play like all these older games because they're just not as accessible right now unless, you have access to an old system. But if, you've got the 8-year-old who's played Breath of the Wild and that's their first ever Zelda game, it'd be great if we could get those previous Zelda games up on the Switch so little 8-year-old can start playing more Zelda titles.
Also, point of order, we're still in a pandemic, so they might have had plans, and they may not have been able to be done in time for this.
But
that's a fair point.
And I get that too, but it's and I'm not trying to make comparisons here necessarily, but you kind of have to. Like, Sonic is going all out for the 30th anniversary this year, in my opinion. We are getting a remaster of an old game. We got a new game. We got the Symphonic presentation. We've gotten...
It was so
ice.
good.
And there's more
Get that
announcements
Sonic
to
ice.
come. Huh? I'm sorry,
The Sonic Ice necklaces.
Yes,
Got
like
that.
the
I want 'em
merchandise.
so bad.
And so it's like you could say that it's COVID, and I respect every company having to deal with this right now. But it's just hard for that to be an excuse when, Sega really is like not pulling their punches on the Sonic 30th anniversary, which is a franchise
Planning stuff.
that is also
it's-
very true.
No, I
It's
think
very hard to
Kira's
say.
right though. Kira's right though.
No, 100%,
yeah, she is.
100%.
Yeah. It's because if Nintendo wanted to do a Zelda 35th anniversary, I know COVID hit Japan a lot harder than it hit America. But if they wanted to do a Zelda 35th anniversary big blowout like they did with Mario, I think they could have and would have done it. But Mario works a bit better because they had the theme park going up, and as I said in our previous podcast, it was kind of more like filler while they worked on the the next big set of releases. They don't need Zelda filler because we got the big releases. They're here. They're coming out in October and the holidays, and I'm not gonna have time to play anything. And that's
Zelda shouldn't be considered filler.
No, okay. I don't think you understand what I mean when I say filler. Then, all right? Because when I say filler, I'm talking about games that go on the release schedule just to puff out Nintendo's little calendar when they do those press releases every couple of months.
Oh, got it.
So
that kind of thing. Understood.
So like a remake or a port typically counts as filler to me. That isn't to lower the quality of the game that they are releasing, but something to the extent of like Sonic Colors Ultimate is more filler to me than whatever that new Sonic game they're actually developing.
Okay, it's like we're still giving this, like, we're working on this game. Here's something to tide you over until then. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
My
so
bad.
So when they make their 2020 calendar, it's a good look to have like 20 Mario games on it. So like we've got 3D All-Stars coming, and 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and this Mario Kart thing, and Mario 35, and this Mario Game & Watch, right? Like all of a sudden it makes it look like their 2020 release schedule isn't so bad, even though in reality it actually all wasn't that great until the Mario stuff got announced. So they don't need to do all this stuff with Zelda. It'd be nice, and I think they know the fans would love it, but they've only got so many hands and so much time in a day that they need to focus their efforts elsewhere and therefore don't need a Zelda 35th. Mario 35th works out a bit better, again, because of the theme park. But I'm sorry to say there is no Zelda theme park yet.
I think people would also be less upset if it wasn't for the fact that Nintendo did have a giant celebration for Mario's 35th. Like, who's to say that 35 is, a big year a big anniversary year in general to celebrate? But it could have been that Nintendo didn't I wouldn't say overhype, but didn't hype up the Mario 35th so much. I think people would not have had expectations for the Zelda one.
It's true. 35 is a weird year to celebrate because usually it's like after 30, you don't usually celebrate another big number till like 50. So I wonder. That kind of leads more into the credence that it was a bit filler, and I feel bad calling it filler because I liked the stuff they did.
That makes sense though. It makes sense that way.
Yeah. So I think it really was just a matter. It was a press release stunt, if you will. It was a way to get more games out on the Switch. And now that we have so many things coming, we probably won't get something like that again, aside from the, every once in a while anniversary package for something like Kirby or maybe a Pokemon thing. So
Gotcha.
That's how I see it.
That's fair.
Yoshiller said 50 years is the bigger number. See you guys in 15.
See ya.
Oh,
I will be 40.
I don't want to think about that.
I will be 50 in 15 years. Oh gosh.
Well, you'll be the coolest 50-year-old on the block.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll all be the coolest at that age. We're gonna be the cool people.
I'll be sitting playing Breath of the Wild 6, eating my crackling oat bran cereal.
Oh.
And you can thank the cool 50-year-old for telling you about it.
Oh my god. All right. Honestly, I totally lost track. Is anybody not giving their best and worst?
I think it was
literally
we got off track. We got off track after yours.
Yeah.
So you were second, I think.
Oh, okay. So literally everybody but me and Yoshiller. Okay.
Yes.
Well, whoever wants to go first, I guess. Go ahead.
So I was, of course, happy to see Breath of the Wild 2. Like, that was a given. But I knew I was going to see something Breath of the Wild 2. And it was, of course, just like the greatest. Oh my gosh. Breath of the Wild 2 made me so happy. But the one that really just, holy crap, got to me was definitely Metroid Dread. Just because I was not expecting that. And it was just such a pleasant surprise to get to see that. I was expecting like, hey, we're working on Metroid Prime 4. Here's a trailer. It's going to happen eventually. I was thinking it was going to be something along those lines. I was not expecting a full-on new Metroid game that's going to be out in October. Like, that was the last thing on my mind. And that was just... I was overwhelmed by that. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the special edition. I tried. I got it in my cart and I got to check out, and then as soon as I hit complete order, after I put all my credit card information in, it was like, oh yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks guys. And the other big one that I was excited about was also Cruisin' World, because I played Cruisin' USA on the N64 pretty regularly, and then my dad and I would always play like the cruising games, like at arcades and stuff. We played, I want to say it was Cruisin' Exotica that we played. That was pretty fun, and I think we did Cruisin' World as well. So the new one that they're putting on the Switch is going to be so cool. Just because I loved Cruising USA. I thought it was so much fun. And then, what was I disappointed in? I was honestly disappointed in the Smash Fighter, because I have like no connection to Tekken whatsoever. And I was hoping for somebody like, somebody more fun like Mr. Driller would have been like way cooler, because I like the whimsical characters, and Mr. Driller would have been great. Like, had Mr. Driller been announced, I would have been like, yeah, Yoshiller called it, and this is gonna be the most fun.
Driller. It's okay. Maybe we'll get a me costume. I don't know.
That'd be great.
Right.
Not one of my breath.
That's awesome. I haven't mentioned this at this point yet, but I've actually, for everybody that's uploaded an E3 reaction, I've actually watched all of them. And
Nice.
I do remember watching Amanda just be so uninterested in Kazuya. It was so like, oh, no love for the Tekken boy.
I was just like, who's this guy? Never seen this guy before in my life.
Yeah, at least the music's gonna be good. Tekken has some really great stuff as far as
Tekken
music
has
is
some
concerned.
Yeah, Tekken's music
does
is
it?
very, very good.
Tekken music's awesome, yeah, and because it's also developed by
Okay.
Namco, I'm sure they'll have no problem licensing out music to other composers, and we're gonna get some bangers. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
I'm really wondering how much music they're gonna give Smash, because like I think who was the one that got a whole bunch of music? Terry.
Terry,
From King
Yeah.
of Fighters.
yeah.
Yeah, they gave Terry a lot of music.
How much?
Yeah.
How many tracks was that? Like 20 something?
Well, it was 50 songs exactly, including like 4 or 5 songs from other SNK games like Metal Slug and whatnot.
I was way off.
It's 50. So,
All right. Well, we can only hope that we get that much Tekken music. David, what did you think?
Yeah, so for E3, for Nintendo, the things that really got me the most emotional, probably were Mario Party Superstars, because we're going back to when Mario Party was great again. Like 1 through 3 is like the prime time of Mario Party for me. I've never actually owned a Mario Party game in my life, to be honest. But the ones that actually, wait, no, that's a lie. I owned Mario Party 2 digitally on the Wii Virtual Console.
Oh yeah.
I had that one.
Okay.
But other than that, I never owned a hard copy of a Mario Party before. So 1 through 3 were the ones I had the most fond memories of. So the fact that we're going back to that era in Superstars is quality content for me. Like, if you go back on my Twitter and look at my reaction, I cried.
I was
I
about to
teared
say,
up
when
so
you
hard.
say emotional.
I was so hyped, bro. Like, yeah, I was like, this is literally what I wanted. This is what I needed them to do since 9, when they screwed it all up, honestly, with that car and all this stuff. I was just
Other
like, take me
bonkers stuff.
back to when I was happy. So, Superstars is literally going back to the heyday when Mario Party was great. And it seems like it's a mix of top 100 on the 3DS, but we have boards. So that's what I'm really excited about. They already confirmed Spaceland and Peach's birthday cake. But also looking at some of the art that they made for it, it looks like there's a level from 3 that's getting into the game. So I'm like, that's dope. I don't know what the other boards are going to be. I think they said there's maybe going to be 5. That's still not enough. I'd say maybe 8 or 10 would be a good amount of, at least 8 would be a decent board amount. But 100 mini games is fine. Skateboard Scamper for the win. Yeah, that's gonna be great, man. Stars are 20 coins again. I can't wait to just start fighting people on the couch.
Dude,
It's gonna be so fun.
I've never been so excited to
wait.
yell at people before.
Yeah, and then the updates from Super Mario Party with online It seems like they really addressed those issues where it was like, okay, it's online, all the modes are online that matter. If you're playing with friends, you can pause the game and resume it later if you guys don't feel like doing a 50 turn game all the way through, you know. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I'm really interested in seeing what else they do with it though. If it's gonna straight up just be boards and mini games, I want to see if they do any other cool stuff with that. Because like in those early stages of Mario Party, they had some other cool modes in there. Like 3 had like a 1v1 like partner mode where you could have like an enemy with you, and it could be like one of those type of things. It had its own specific board, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff padding 1 through 3. So I'm interested in seeing what they do with that. And then also the graphical engine for Superstars. I don't know why they choose to make the graphics the best in Super Mario Party, but the graphics in that game are insane. Like pushing the Switch's hardware in that game.
Right.
We're about it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Exactly. Like I make the game look as beautiful as you want to. I don't care. And then the Super Monkey Ball remaster, I think, really got me hyped too, because it's the remaster of 1, 2, and Deluxe, and Super Monkey Ball 2 was my jam when I was in elementary school. It was like quality single player content, great local multiplayer content. So I am just excited that they're remastering that. And then they even showed the limited edition versions that they're doing. Has a whole bunch of cool collectible content. They're also putting like Sonic and Tails in it. They're putting like retro skins of Ai, Gong Gong Baby, and Mimi in there. It's gonna be a great time. And then it literally comes out within the same week as Mario Party and Metroid Dread. So October is stupid.
God.
So
the audacity.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Let's see, the Smash announcement. I don't really care too much about Tekken personally, so that's a slot that I'm like, I'm not whining about it. I want it Crash personally. I hope Crash gets in. If he doesn't, whatever. Because I honestly got Banjo and Kazooie, so I am okay. Let's see what else. And then in terms of Metroid Dread, I'm not a huge Metroid fan. Like, I've never finished a Metroid game before. I played the Prime games. Well, I played Prime 1. I haven't played Prime 2 or 3 yet. I need to go. This is now a good reason for me to go back and play Super Metroid on the SNES online service, so that's cool. And then Breath of the Wild 2, getting more information. I already knew we weren't going to probably get a release date for that. 2022 sounds about right. With that, plus Splatoon 2 and whatever else comes out next year. Next year's looking delicious, so I'm looking forward to E3 2022 for sure. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned Monkey Ball. Was I the only person that saw like the bananas and thought Donkey Kong like immediately?
I think that's what we all thought.
Okay.
Nah, dude. I was like, just
so-
Monkey Ball, dude.
So
No, I thought Monkey Ball. Actually,
The
I
Monkey
realized
Ball-
its age and went, oh god, what?
I had forgotten about Monkey Ball. Like, that's one of those series I forgot existed.
So it leaked like
So
an hour or two before Nintendo's
Yeah, it
presentation.
literally
So as
leaked
soon as I saw the
within
bananas, I was
24
like, oh,
hours
this must
before
be the
that.
Monkey Ball announcement.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was. I just heard there was a Monkey Ball announcement. But then when I saw it was 1, 2, and Deluxe, that's when I freaked out.
Right.
So I'm very excited for that.
No, it looks like a solid deal. That would be really nice to be able to relive all those. It's just, for me, it's unfortunate that it comes out so soon in comparison to everything else in October, September. So I don't know if I'll be picking it up day one, but I'm 100% sold. I'll be getting it eventually. So, Monkey Ball, yeah, that sounds great. I'm excited for it. And it's just,
I noticed in this group, none of us are giving a representation to Advanced Wars. I'm not an
I was
Advanced
just
Wars
about to
kid,
say
but
that.
yeah.
I've never
Kira,
played
do you
an
wanna-
Advanced
That's
Wars
not a game
so
I
I
grew
have
up
like
with.
no connection there.
Sam.
Kira, do you want to take it from there?
I wouldn't mind diving in though.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I think my most hyped and biggest disappointment is kind of in the same game. But it's my own mistake because when when the Monkey Ball announcement did come up, you know, they were going through like almost all of the games, like not only the GameCube ones, but the DS like Touch and Go ones, and like the Wii game and stuff too. And now looking back, I was stupid to think this. I thought they were putting those games into the collection too. Like, I think the trailer was not super clear at first.
No, I agree. It's a little weird for them to be like, look at our history of Monkey Ball games.
And then
these three are in the collection.
And that's only the first 3, yeah.
Right. So, but it makes sense that games like Touch and Go and the one on the Wii aren't on that. I'm not sure how they would optimize that for Switch, but you know, we've seen weirder things. So yeah, I went to go like look at when it was coming out and look at the price and stuff, and then okay, it's actually only 1, 2, and Deluxe, which now I'm totally okay with. I still think that's an amazing announcement, and it was my favorite announcement of specifically the Nintendo Direct. However, man, it was just like that one little disappointing thing. But really, I wasn't really disappointed by anything else. If Monkey Ball like counts as my disappointment while also being my most hype thing, I think the Advanced Wars announcement was so big. E3 in general has been big for tactical or strategy fans. You know, we kind of started off, Summer Game Fest announced the Metal Slug Tactics game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang, I missed that.
Yeah, go back and watch Summer Game Fest. It's really cool. They do like the Elden Ring thing too, and there's a lot of great games that were announced at Summer Game Fest. I think that was the second strongest E3 presentation after Nintendo. But yeah, I was very impressed by E3 all around, especially when it came to Nintendo. I think it's nice that we are getting a lot of these games like Metroid Dread that might have a much more niche fan base. Again, with the tactics stuff like Advance Wars and I keep saying Metal Slug. I know that wasn't a part of Nintendo, but I still think it was like one of my favorite E3 announcements. So it's nice to see stuff come back from the dead, and I think it helps make the future look bright for some of these more dead IPs, hopefully. But all around, I think this was probably one of the better E3s that I remember. As far as like just being at home and watching it, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex, you haven't gone yet, right?
Nope.
All right, take it away.
Okay, I will. I'll give one shout out because we haven't been talking. Kara mentioned a little bit about Summer Game Fest. Will bring up the Jack Sparrow edition into Sea of Thieves. Might be the reason why I play Sea of Thieves. That's
oh my
cool.
gosh, me too.
Yeah. So
I
if anyone wants
it specifically.
So if anyone wants to party up, give me a Yahar in my DMs, and we'll do that.
Yahar.
I mean, piratey.
Yeah.
But in terms of Nintendo's stuff, Metroid. I'm sorry. I don't really care about the fact that, like, there wasn't a ton of Zelda stuff, because the fact that Metroid Dread is a thing and exists, like, that was a win. That was, I think, my big highlight of, oh my god, it's a Metroid game. Great that they brought up Prime 4. Great, I know they're still working on it. Oh my god, Metroid Dread is actually real. What? Wow. I am very hyped for that. I also got really hyped for Mario Party Superstars. It was, I think, that and WarioWare were some of the other big highlights for me. But Mario Party, I loved the original games. I love the originals. So going back to that, I'm just like, I get to do that. And now it explains why Super Mario Party got things really late. Because, yeah, they were probably creating stuff for Superstars. And then we're like, let's make sure this works. So they threw it onto Super to make sure it worked. And then they got validated, and so now they can continue working on that part with the new one. But I am unbelievably excited for that game. That game got a lot of hype from me. Breath of the Wild 2 looks cool. They fly now, so that's fun. I am excited to see more information about that. Something tells me we might still get more this year. I don't know. the fact that they didn't give us a title because, quote, they were worried about it giving away things is a little suspect. So I feel like we're going to learn
Maybe the
more.
title is Link and Zelda Kiss. Link and Zelda live happily ever after.
We get it. You're a Z-Link shipper. Thank you, Amanda. I mean, you're probably true in this instance, but okay. But I don't know. For that was, I think, some of the main stuff for me. I don't feel like we needed to see Guardians of the Galaxy for the 5th time.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
Oh,
And
yeah.
actually, I will say this: no ill will to anybody who worked on those events, because obviously digital events take a lot of work to create. I feel like we didn't get a lot from Square. We got 20 minutes of Guardians, and then they announced like 2D remastered things of Final Fantasy 1 through 6, and we got very little actual like visuals on that. And I feel like that was the most disappointing
And that's like a huge
announcement.
deal.
Oh, it's a massive deal. Why are you putting them on stuff that already technically has them instead of putting them on Switch or things that like really should get them? And why didn't you talk about that? I feel like that was a major misstep, and I think that was my biggest disappointment. Not even really a Nintendo related thing. It's just E3 in general, just that I really wanted to see more of. I also am a little disappointed about Back 4 Blood's information, which was 10 minutes of, I kind of wanted to see more, and we didn't see that, which made me kind of sad. But I think Nintendo always does a good job at these events, so I'm never really truly worried about it. I'm also not a big, like, Tekken person. I don't play fighting games. I'm too bad at them. But... So, cool. Tekken deserves a spot, too. Good for Tekken. I've got no stakes in it, so I'm like, okay, cool. I
Nice.
think that's kind of all I got. Everyone else kind of covered the things that I've already said.
You know, interesting we're talking about things that we've covered, because I'm just now thinking of stuff that we didn't really take a huge deep dive in, surprisingly, because we have the people that we have here. What did you guys think about the information that was offered from Breath of the Wild 2?
I mean,
It's still really
we can't
vague.
really say too much, but it's more than we got. It really debunked everyone's theories of we're going underground. Kinda. We still don't know if that's happening, but we know we're in the sky now. I've seen a lot of people saying the re-release of Skyward Sword is a good segue into that, because now everyone's going to have more backstory on the original canonically beginning of the timeline. So when we go into the sky, that might have something to do with that.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, like, seeing those floating islands and sky loft-like places, or city in the sky-like places, because it's like, oh, that's a throwback.
I'm interested in seeing how they explain phasing into rocks.
Yeah?
That's gotta have
in-
something to do with runes, right?
I'm assuming it's got something to do with this,
Probably.
like, weird rune-like arm now.
Yeah. What the heck
I
is
like
up
how
with
at first
that?
I thought didn't realize that like the malice had taken over his arm, and I'm going, I don't know, maybe a moblin ate his arm. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I didn't
And
even
then-
notice the arm. I didn't even notice his arm until like the 3rd time I watched the trailer. I was like, oh.
I
I
think I
feel as
understood
though-
more editing the reaction compilation of that trailer than watching it originally.
Yeah.
I feel as though they showed Breath of the Wild 2 at E3 because they had to show it, because it'd be really weird if they didn't show it. But I feel like a higher-up Nintendo executive went over to Anuma's team and was like, hey, we're ready for that Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. And Anuma's like, well, I mean, the game, we still need like another year to work on the game. And the executive's like, well, we got to show it at E3. People are expecting it. Like, you know, we got to give them an update. You guys got to have something to show. So they're probably having something like an Avengers Endgame type of scenario where any trailer footage they use is from like the first 30 minutes of the game. And
Yeah.
that's probably why half the trailer was the castle rising out of the ground again. So, I don't know. I think we have seen nothing. I think there's another major mechanic that's going to exist in that game that that mechanic is spoiled by the title. So maybe it is time. Maybe it is the ability to like switch between Link and Zelda or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
But whatever
That
that
would be so
major
cool.
mechanic
I like
is, we haven't seen it yet.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of time manipulation, like kind of like in Life is Strange. And the reason I say that is because there was that one quick scene where you saw like there was like a little puddle with water in it, and then it like sucked up
rose
where
up.
it looked like it was
reversed.
played. Yeah, and it looked like it was played in reverse. So I'm wondering if that's like a thing, like a slight time manipulation for like 10 seconds.
They've never dabbled in that kind of time manipulation.
Right, and it would just be like maybe like a short amount of time manipulation. So it's like, oh, okay, I can, I can move to this spot while I'm erasing the time right here.
Yeah, so
and yeah,
the thing I think most people noticed in that trailer is that obviously there's a lot of territories, or at least a lot of ground from the original Breath of the Wild that's in this game. But any of the shots they used where Link was on the ground, he had his blue shirt on from the original Breath of the Wild, and his hair was still tied up. But anytime he was in the sky, he had a green shirt on, and his hair was let down. So people are speculating if, like, Link goes to the past, kind of Ocarina of Time style, you do some stuff, and then that affects how the map changes.